and welcome to this video on being weird.
Our favourite topic.
I guess this is a journey we've been taking for a while. We weren't always, out there artists and intuitives and
Professional weirdos.
But this is something that we speak a lot with our clients, and certainly a tension that we hold every day, and we know a lot of other people that hold this tension between one, being authentic and being uniquely who you are, and then the risk of then not being able to fit in or not being accepted for that.
Yeah, the feeling of rejection, right?
Yeah.
So when we think about why this might happen or where the tension comes from, historically, being on the outside of the social circle could have meant death or, injury, severe injury. So it's innate in all of us to want to fit in. We think about attachment as children and things like that. The need to be attached or to be accepted is really innate within all of us and really drives a lot of our behaviours. But as you begin on the spiritual path or your journey towards authenticity, that conditioning starts to shed away and this tension becomes stronger and stronger.
And and there's a lot of fear about that kind of breaking out of perhaps the conditioned you compared to the real you that can be revealed as part of, that empowering spiritual path. And you can lose people on the way. You can certainly lose popularity.
It can be a lonely place at times. There's this gap between shedding perhaps the circles you had when you were younger, when you were more conditioned, and the place you're going to, and the people perhaps you're more aligned with. There can be a bit of a gap, right? So that can be a bit of a lonely time.
Yeah. And it requires so much bravery and courage to step out, whether it's as an artist or as an entrepreneur or just being generally more authentic and speaking your truth. Because a lot of us have, blocked throat chakras around speaking what is authentically true for us because we haven't been conditioned to do so for various reasons.
Family conditioning, societal conditioning, evolutionary traits. There's so much behind that, right?
Yeah. And it's this thing of being the black sheep. Yeah. And you're on the outer. Yeah. But what's really cool about what's happening at the moment with this Age of Aquarius, so in astrology, we've been talking about the Age of Aquarius for quite some time. And Aquarius is the sign of the widow. It's the sign of the free thinker. It's the sign of new technologies, new ways of thinking, new communities, new paradigms. Yeah. So now more than ever is this invitation from the universe to say, step out as a weirdo. Yeah. It's safe, not only safe for you to do so, but it's the only way forward. Like fitting in with the pack is that's old thinking. That's old paradigm thinking. And now moving into this whole free thinking and embracing yourself fully and being authentic, that is the way of the future. That's the way we're going.
Yeah, like the world is shifting rapidly, right? The old paradigms and everything is breaking down. So new ways of thinking are needed if we're going to move forward. Yeah. But even if you look back through history, like people that thought outside the box did make change in society. It wasn't the people that followed the status quo. It was, yes, that's good for maintaining systems, but people that brought new systems in were the ones that were able to think outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the times through history, these were the people who were mocked or crucified, or often they weren't recognised until they'd passed over because their ideas were so radical that they weren't able to be embraced until that person had, long gone, which is really sad. So, this is very much about embracing the idea of new ways of thinking, critical thinking, and that the status quo isn't necessarily it's safe. It keeps us safe, but it also keeps us restricted, and it also keeps us small.
Yeah. Yeah, restrained.
Yeah, and Hannah said this thing earlier, there's nothing extraordinary about being ordinary. And I was like, ooh, that's quite juicy. Yeah. I thought it was a really good quote.
Yeah, so I guess, and when we step into our authenticity, we give those around us permission to do the same. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's our message for the day. Yeah, go ahead and be weird. Bless.
Please.